Hey folks, welcome back to Black and White. Here in Nacrene City, heading off to Pinwheel Forest in pursuit of Team Plasma. You remember last time we met Berg here. He's the third gym leader. His strange hair. And he will lead us quite nicely into the forest, as if you really needed direction. Now there are two paths through, the long way and the short way. So naturally we get to take the long way. It's the one with all the trainers and items and all that, so it's okay, it's cool. Anyway, this is a double battle. You've seen them before, and you can only get into them if you have two Pokemon. So, Lilo actually can't fight. So, yeah, here's just showing off another double battle, as well as Sewaddle. I love Sewaddle. Sewaddle, honestly, at first glance, it might look like it sucks, because it looks a lot like a Caterpie. But it's actually really, well, for a grass bug type, it's really good. I used one in my personal team, and it carried me all the way through the game, because it could get a lot of powerful, high critical hit ratio moves. And it starts with Razor Leaf and Bug Bite at a pretty early level, so it's really actually a good Pokemon. I would highly recommend it. Also, it's freaking adorable. Look at that thing. Look at it. Anyway, yeah, I never mentioned it, but Snivy evolved into a Servine. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that. It's entirely unimportant because he's getting replaced. And we have our first Team Plasma member. Oh boy. This one actually introduces a much beloved new Pokemon, Sandile, which is a ground dark type, meaning that Manfred is actually unable to damage it. However, Lilo can basically kick its ass. People really like Sandile. I personally haven't used one, but it's pretty badass looking, and it's apparently a physical offensive powerhouse, so use one when you have the opportunity, which is a little while from now. Now, proceeding on, we have a wild encounter that I'm not cutting out because, oh my god, it's Cottony. I mentioned before that Cottony and Petalil are version exclusives, and while I stand by that statement, it's not 100% true. Basically, you can catch one and trade it with an NPC, get the other. You can only catch one in the wild, depending on your type, but you can trade it for the other, and so technically, they're both available. And that's what I'm doing. Gotcha. So I do feel a little awkward catching a Pokemon solely for the sake of trading it, but I kind of really like Petal, though. Now then, there's another item over here, as well as a bunch of wild encounters. Believe it or not, all these wild encounters were Cottony's. Every single one. Kinda ridiculous. Anyway, that big root there boosts the power of HP stacking moves like Absorb, Mega Drain, and what have you, which is Petalil's main offensive capability. So, let's trade. And that's our second teammate. Or third, depending on how you're counting. Now, I'll admit, Petalil wasn't actually my first choice as a team member. I was originally planning to, oh my god, what's his name? I've already forgotten. I've omitted him from my memory banks. Venipede. I was originally going to use a Venipede, because they're hella badass. But then, I ran into a Conmy, and I was like, you know, I could trade this, and, you know, my type coverage wouldn't be hurt that much. It'd be interesting. So, let's go for it. Anyway, here is a Moss Rock. Those of you who played Diamond and Pearl and Platinum will know what that entails. It's used to evolve an Eevee into a Lillipup. Anywho, I wouldn't normally show this fight because it's just a Purloin, but I wanted to show off the offensive capabilities of Lilo, whom I have trained off-screen already. Now, Lolo here is, that's really hard to say, Lolo. Special attacker mostly, grass type, holding the big root, of course, so the Mega Drain will do more damage. Could also give her a Miracle Seed, but for now it doesn't matter. And since it's a traded Pokemon, you'll get extra experience. Now, this is the first instance of Pokemon Rangers, and all the Pokemon Rangers here have the Pan Sage, Pan Seer, Pan 4 Pokemon dudes that we've seen over and over. Anyway, let's enter Dowsing mode here, which doesn't look nearly as cool on a dark background, unfortunately. And Pokemon Rangers will always give you a berry once you've defeated them. And oh my god, so many wild encounters. If this area has taught me anything, it's that I should really start using repels soon. Because most of my training's done off-screen anyway, so it's just gonna save us a couple awkward transitions and save me some editing, so... See, different berries. Berries are a little harder to come by in this game, since they expect you to get them from the dream world, rather than growing them in soft grass or whatever. But honestly, how much did you really use berries? Not much. I think this was the ranger with a Panpour, which was nice for Lilo. Just used Mega Drain and it was down and it was fun. I need Dowsing mode once again. Grab another tiny mushroom. We'll see what those are used for later. Now, I really like this area with the, like, going through logs, so it would probably, like, crumble under your feet and cause severe back damage. I don't know, I think it's a cool way of blending the environment, although there are no trees that large in the forest. A little weird. Oh my god, more rangers. They hide in the grass like the ninjas in the 3rd gen. And I guess the 4th gen too. I don't know, it's a little weird. Anywho, still more wild Pokemon. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. And there's Grass Knot. Grass Knot is grass type move, does damage based on how heavy your opponent is, which is weird. Anyway, since I'm in the white version now, I'm just showing that Petalil is available as a wild capture. Just for the sake of demonstration. Also, I teleported. Just ignore that. And here we have the final confrontation with the final grunt. One thing that is kind of weird is that the Team Plasma doesn't have executive admin dudes like Team Rocket, Team Magnet, Team Plasma, and Team Galactic did. They just have a bunch of grunts and 7 sages who you never actually fight. Like, you'll see them, they're just there, and they show up in cutscenes. It's weird. Anyway, I'm partially showing this fight because it's a pseudo-boss fight. I mean, if you lose, something's very, very wrong. But this is still kind of a boss fight, and it demonstrates my general tactic with Lilo, which is basically the same tactic I use with Lilo. That's going to be confusing. But boost offenses with growth, and then use an offensive move and try to take out the entire team. Anyway, interesting thing about Lillo, Petalil, is that it's always female. I don't know, just a little tidbit while we're going for trats. Seriously, screw the trats. And there we go, there's a Sandile. And you've seen Lilo deal with Sandile, let's see Lillo deal with Sandile. This guy with the stupid sand attacks and the accuracies, and if I were an unlucky person, that could get annoying. But luckily, I'm pretty lucky. I know, luckily. Anyway, Torment would prevent me from using the same move twice in a row, but it doesn't actually matter if the move misses, so I could keep spamming Mega Drain until it hit, if necessary. Anyway, Stun Spore, kind of unnecessary since I already have Sleep Powder. Close. Now then, we get the Dragonite Skull back. Put it in our key items case, and we will never see it in there again, as you will see by plot. Anyway, here's one of the 7 sages. Gorm is his name. I don't know any of the names of the 7 sages, except the one who's obviously a sage, but it's still technically spoilers at this point, so I won't say. Anyway, they're like this religious cult, as you saw in the opening cutscene. And, yeah, the sages don't do much, honestly. In the 3rd version, they'll probably have a much enhanced role. Big boss! Oh, see, Gustus, he's a sage. What a spoiler. Anyway, if I'm scrolling too fast, just, you know, either learn to read quicker or pause the video. Because there's a lot of text in these cutscenes, and it's like, you know, most of it's redundant. They're the bad guys. They're gonna liberate Pokemon. It's been repeated. Anyway, she takes the Dragon Skull, so it's one of the few items you'll never actually see an item description for, even though it's programmed into the game. And there's a Moonstone, which I can use to evolve Manfred when I deem necessary, which is not now. I'm waiting, because Manfred needs to make its moveset a little better. And you stop learning new moves once you evolve the stone, generally. There's a Miracle Seed, probably going to replace the big root at some point with that. And Dowsing Mode for the 3rd and final time, but, plot twist, we can't get the item. It's frustrating, but it's down there, and we can't get through. And here we just have a couple more trainers with nothing more of note. So we can just fight them, get some experience, and that'll do it. I do recommend fighting all the trainers, but, you know, they're not actually very interesting to show. So, after that ordeal in Pinwheel Forest, we'll head over here, which is a lot more convenient than the Pokemon Center, let me tell you. And, that takes care of that. So I will see you guys next time.